Hi there, welcome to today's video. Today we will be talking about the all-time problem of how to be more productive. If you didn't know, I struggle with productivity a lot. I have a problem with starting, ending, changing everything and anything regarding doing something. So how do I battle this long fight? Um, Mostly don't. I think that there are like a couple of things. Firstly, it's really important to know your motivation, your why, and why you are doing the thing. But also, the other important thing I think is that you should just let it go. Like you have these two options of how you can approach the to dos and your list of things that you need to do. One of them is that you can get better every day, which is most like from the Atomic Habits that if you will get better each day by 1%, you are at the end of the year 365% better than when you started, which of course works, but you have to be consistent. And to be honest, I have ADHD. Like, I struggle with everything, and the consistency is boring. So, who wants to be consistent? So I work much more better in big bursts of energy and slow nothingness in between. And if you will ask any employer, that's the best that you can be as an employee. Not showing up every day and doing consistent work, but being a burst of energy now and then and delivering the same output. So if you are like me and you cannot get things done when someone says you to, and you strike from deadlines, from being overwhelmed, from not knowing where to start, this video is for you. So, how I started battling this feeling of overwhelming and nothingness, and also the disappointment of yourself because, in comparison to other, you cannot do as much as they because you don't do the hours. You do it in a burst of energy. Why we do that? We do that mostly because our teachers, our school systems design us to do that. In school, we were told that we have to sit for 45, 90 minutes, I don't know, 50 minutes, 15 minutes, I don't know for how long. And we have to focus on this one task and we cannot do anything else. Mind you, I don't know who could do that. I didn't. The only thing that I could do that was when I was talking with my like sitmate, I don't know, with the desk mate, the person who are sitting next to me in a desk or like in front of me, behind me, in other desks, or even across a class. When we were talking, I was able to maintain some level of focus. I also read a lot during school, which is mostly a good thing. Like you can say, I was the technology kid that had a phone. So you could say that for teachers it would be easier to have the kid reading. No, it's not. You don't pay attention to them. You don't look at them with these hungry eyes of emptiness. You are reading your book and you don't care about what the teacher says because you cannot pay attention to it. But the other could. The other showed up and make their hours. And I didn't. And because of that, I had a detention. Like after school, I needed to stay there and do additional work that my classmate didn't have to do because I just didn't pay attention in class. So how could I learn anything? And I think from this is striking me that I still compare myself to these one or two mark. And I think from this, it's why I compare myself to these A or B students. It wasn't that. Still, I had a master in a really good school. Because when I got into university and things weren't as strict as in elementary school, high school, something like that, for my bachelor program, I could actually choose things that I could go for and decided not to go there. That was the best thing ever because I didn't had to listen to some teacher that is slow even on 5 times speed. Oh my god, that's amazing. And on most classes, I bring my laptop and work because it was the best thing that I could do. I could do something that is fun with a podcast live in a background. From this, I think that it's really easy for me to mix things together. And I know that when I have to pay attention, I need to fidget. Even now, I'm fidgeting this thingy for my ballerina look. So yeah, I think that's the first thing that you need to, if you have the same experience as me, you need to like look into. I think it's really good for you. It was good for me even to realize that it's not just me and I'm not this bad person. So that really helped me out to figure out that I do not want to compare myself and I cannot work as these people because even though the class or like the school system builds us for 9 to 5 and being employees, I really hate that environment. And not because I think employment is bad. I think that if you like being an employee, I envy you. Like, I think it would be much easier for me if I would not have this strong urge in disliking it. Because I think it would be easier for me, for my work, it would be less stressful, much more manageable, but still the feel of being an employee, I hate it. So sorry for that. So what I did and what I figured out works for me in this hectic life of a self-employed, I really liked habits to be, and this will be just a tricks video, tips and tricks. First trick, I think it's really good to have your habits in your calendar as a day event. And if you will make the habit, you can delete it and you don't have to think about it, see it. So it's much more manageable and you can actually see when the habit is there, which means you didn't do it, in comparison with normal habit tracking technique. When you have the cross every day or every other day, it's much more messy. It doesn't give you the something to solve that day. I think I really like when the thing goes away. Which also brings me that I tried everything. I tried Notion, Obsidian, I tried Todoist, I tried every I think to do app out there. For now, I do calendar blocking, which is really problematic when you have a lot of things in your calendar. So I think I will build my own thingy, not for anything, it's just for me to have it somewhere because I would like to have the calendar just for the calendar things. But now I have it in calendar, which was also eye-opening because see how the thing was long and if and when you need breaks because don't I myself don't think about myself as someone who takes breaks. I don't know how to manage them, and I still am trying to figure out how to manage them. So I can see what I did when, and I don't need to be doing some rigid time tracking. So this is really good, I think, for me. I have there even my cleaning routines, like a weekly resets and everything. Also, when I have an appointment, I put some travel time to it so I can actually see how long the 1 hour appointment takes me. Also, when you do some unwanted habit, for example, for me, I was used to, and I'm still kind of would like to do it. When I'm eating, after the eating, I would like to go sleep. And in before I had the time and opportunity to sleep, I would go. How I stopped doing that is that, like, then I figure out that I do not like this behavior, which means like eating, sleeping. So what you can do is to put activities in between, and you can prolong the undesired activity so long that you don't want to do it, or you just can do it. So, for example, if I want to go sleep at 2 p.m., I can prolong into like 10 p.m. and then I can go sleep, and it's okay. So what I started doing, I because in it was like I had food, and I was tired, and I would shoot a video, then I play games, and I went sleep, which was like 2 hour struggle. Then I moved the from the bed to here, which means that I could still play the games for 2 hours, but I will not be in a lying position in my bed. Then I was like, okay, I can play the game, but firstly, let me do one quick, easy task, which is also really good, even though I have my calendar with things that I need to do and approximately where I want to do them. I have a list of things that I need to do, so I can do some low energy task, and it's really okay-ish. So I did that, and then I could do the game. And I prolonged this with other activities. So then I was like, okay, but I don't want to play the game because I'm leaving in 30 minutes and I need to like do so much other things and I need to dress up. I can play the game in a train or in a tram or in a, I don't know, subway or not even private probably. So then I didn't play the game. So I didn't sleep and then I didn't play the game. I just worked or did something wanted. For example, today I had the same problem. I ate around 11 and now it's 2 p.m. And what I did between 11 and 2 p.m., I worked some low energy tasks. I also had my run. I also played the game. I won actually. I'm really good. But and it was really not so victorious because I won because I just was strategic because I like some strategy games. So yeah, it wasn't so good. But like, and I don't have the urge to like play the game anymore because I know that I have like 3 hours. And these 3 hours, I need to do this video. I need to post process another. I need to do some work for a client. I need to go out and bring some food here because then I will be hungry. And hungry persons are sad people, which is really sorry. Okay, so, other things for the freelance people is that after you stop doing school, you start feeling really alone. Normal people have it as well. Like you don't spend so much time. There is some graph that how much time you spend with your friends and family based on your years, and it's like, okay, with your family, when you moved out, you will not spend time at all, and oh, with your friends, it's like slowly declined. Make some communities. Like for me, I started doing aerial hoop, I started doing pole dance, I started to go to the movie festivals, I just started running. I find a lot of labels that I can attach to myself and communities attached to these labels so that I can have some friends. I can have someone to talk to. Of course, I have my friends from the past, but like, how many people have time now at 2 p.m. in Wednesday if they are not self employed or if they do not have really flexible schedule? Not a lot. So you need to find someone that has really similar like freelance freedom in their work. And yeah, I found a sparring partner at my aerial hoop. I found a really good friend at pole dance. I found these people that I could talk with and find them interesting, which is, I think, okay for me, and I really like it. So, this is another tip for you to figure out if and how you want to find your new community and your new self. Because for me, the loss of the university was pretty hard. Like, still, I'm thinking about applying to PhD just because of feeling as a student, which is really terrible. Don't do that. I decided that I will have a 3 year break. I think that's good. Maybe three, maybe four. If I will want it at my 30s to do PhD, I can do it, but not before that. My another tip is for you to try out new things. You cannot be productive when you don't like what you are doing. And of course, we don't talk about productivity or you don't care about the productivity that you are doing in your work. Like most of the people, if they are not freelancing or self employed or don't have their own business or they're not investors, you show up in a work and you will do the work based on the priority and the things that everyone else tell you. Like, or that's how I imagine it. Maybe it's different, but I do not have it from my friends. I don't see it as often that they struggle with the prioritization, with the productivity because they just show up. That's the employee, that's the salary. You just show up and they will tell you what you have to do. So if you are self-employed, so we're talking much more about the personal space, about how you are making effective of your 5 to 9 or your weekends. For me, mostly I like to have weekends off. Like I work on the weekends, but I work like 4 hours, 6 hours, which could seem extensive. But I can also say no. It's like getting ahead, enjoying some free time. I like wellness, saunas. I like to do some hikes on weekends. I like to explore new restaurants and cuisines. I like to see something like that. Have something interesting and curious during a weekend. There is also this TikTok saying that when you have each year has a theme, each 6 minute adventures a year. If you carve out one day every other month to do something you wouldn't have normally done, you will add 6 minute adventures to your life resume at the end of the year. Compound that year over year, and you have 300 minute adventures. Okay, what I wanted to do is that every year should be one defining thing for that year. For me, it's my fixing my health. So I will have doing marathon training, which is mostly defining my year for now. If I will put it like after, if I will put it, 2016, I started tutoring. 2017, I moved out from my home to this home from my mom. I would say, have to say, from my family. 2018, I was first time in USA. Then the minute adventures. If you will do 6 minute adventures a year, which means every other month, you can do something that you normally don't do. You can have much more enjoyable life. For me, generally, it means traveling. For you, it could also mean something different, experiencing something different. Also, I like to do it on the weekends because that's how life works. The third thing from this TikTok is that you should incorporate one healthy habit every, or like winning habit every quarter, which for me, still in my 25, I'm not 25, but like kinda, it's 2025, I'm 2000 girl, so 2000, so I'm 25. In my 25th year, I'm much more starting to like shift it from the bad habits, not to the winning habits, but I think it's really great. Like, incorporate running was really great and enjoyable part of my life. Of course, I don't enjoy running, but it's enjoyable. I don't know how. I do it, but I dislike it. But I do it. Actually, I'm much more liking swimming, but I do not swim, and I do not like running, but I much more run because it's just easier and nobody cares. Not to say that in swimming someone cares, but like you need to get from like the warm to cold, from dry to wet, and back to dry and warm. Oh, I don't like it. Um, so yeah, this is also one of the things that I think that it's great for your life, great for your productivity. If you have something to look forward to, if you incorporate these habits, which can be a 2 minute rule. So 2 minute rule, which means that you will do the thing if it takes 2 minutes now, or which I do not know with the tidy tricks. Or if you incorporate meditation, or for me, much more mindfulness. I think much more better is mindfulness than much more meditation than mindfulness. Much more mindfulness than meditation. Or I don't know, the running, stretching. I stretch every night. Like the habits that I do is every week I do my weekly review. I do not do monthly review because uh, monthly review is for me much more like if I want to focus on these goals this month or if I want to put them somewhere else. So I do weekly review. I do running, which means mostly 2 to 5 times running. I do my aerial hoop, which is like once per week. I pole dance twice per week, depending. Twice, it's like 2 to 1, and it's depending on the week. I see my friends 2 or 3 times per week. Well, and I stretch every night. And my cleaning habits I have every week. Put it on Monday, and then I distribute them through the Friday. This was from tricks from me how to be productive, how to get be happy, how to do something different in your life. Imagine your life, it's yours. You need to feel it good in it. It's not just about painting a nice picture from bumpers and be like, oh my god, this Arial, this acrylic paint is so beautiful. It's also about living in the picture and feeling good in the picture. And that's up to you how you will be feeling good in the picture. For me, it's having weekly off, but also be able to take weekend on Wednesday, but also be able to do this at 2 p.m. and be able to switch the activities. I do so many different things, and when I don't feel for one, I can do another one. That's the beauty of it. Okay, that's all for today's video. I need to get into post production or else I will not finish it today. It's still too long for me. Anyway, enjoy. And yeah, if you are searching or battling somehow the procrastination and not knowing what to do and how to live your life, put it in the comments. I like to inspire myself with yours idea. Bye.